Hello there, it's Jay here from Jay's Vintage Junk, and today I thought we'd have a look at this. This is something I picked up on eBay, actually a few months back. I've not had a chance to even open the package yet, let alone have a look at it, so I thought we'd do that today on this video. Again, apologies for the slightly poor lighting and what have you. I am still down in my office. My workshop is still completely inaccessible due to my house redecorations at the moment. So like I said, at the moment we really do have to kind of like do the best we can until I've got Christmas out of the way and the house is all tidy again and everything. But I mean, I have made a little bit of progress in here even. If you look up there, I've actually got my I've got them monitors that I talked about. A VGA monitor here, and I've got an old TV. Don't laugh at the way I've mounted that. It didn't have a VESA mount for it, so I literally drilled 2 holes in the corner of the monitor and used coach bolts to bolt it to the wall, so it ain't going anywhere. But I mean, the TV's worthless. It doesn't. I'm not precious about drilling holes in it, and there's no electronics up there or anything. It was just an easy way to mount it, and it meant I could mount it at that angle like that as well. So that's flat on with me, and that's on a bit of an angle. I can get to all the connections there, and it's got composite and S-video and stereo audio on the side there, which I've got easy access to, so I'm quite pleased with that. But that's not about what this video is about. It's about this this box that I've got here. So without further ado, I think we'll get in and I'll show you what I've bought. Now, I do actually own one of these. I have done since I was, I don't know, 11, something like that, 12, early teens, probably before then. I'll be careful with that because I might have my address on it somewhere, so I'll just spirit that out of the way. Yes, it does. I'll get that out of the way. So. Oh dear. Right. That's the brown paper off anyway. I don't know which way to go in with this. Let's try here. Not a great deal of packing materials, but it is in its own case, so. Oh, they seem to have taped the case shut. There we go. Let's get this last bit of tape off. And let's see what we've got. And what we've got is PCB drill. And I mean, you've seen that I actually own a PCB drill. I use it quite a lot, and it's the same PCB drill I've owned, like I said, since I was probably either 12 or 13, around that kind of age. The thing is, I've never owned a stand for it. I've always just used it handheld like that, which is okay for a lot of things, but if you actually like want to do a PCB or anything and actually you know, drill lots and lots of holes very accurately, a stand's really useful. And the whole reason I bought this set, I think I paid 15 quid for the entire set, is it's got a proper transformer, which I've never had. I've always just rigged it up to a bench supply, and it's actually got the stand, which these stands I've seen go for like £30 on their own, so it was worth buying literally just for this stand. In fact, looking at the PCB drill itself, my PCB drill is a lot nicer than this. I mean, I bought mine in what? It would have been probably the very early 1990s I bought that, probably about 1991, around that time of time. This one, even in the description said I think it was bought in the 70s, so it is somewhat older. But I mean, the transformer should work out fine, even if I decide to use it with my my actual PCB drill rather than the one that the one that came with it. It also seems to have a load of Dremel type attachments that I presume someone's been using with it. I mean, I don't think they're real Dremel ones. I think they're like the cheap B&Q ones that I use. But obviously I've got a Dremel type tool as well, so I just put them in with my stock for my, my Dremel kind of tool. And there's quite a few Dremel type bits there. Let's we'll see if it actually works all right. Anyway, we'll see how this. Right, there's the. So how does the actual arm work on this? So that pushes down. It should work. I don't know actually. It should work that when you actuate the lever, it obviously pushes the drill down in its stand. But I've got some instructions. Let's see whether it tells us in here. There's obviously some bits that either have gone missing or were like optional extras, like a flexible piece there, and you could hold it in a stand, or unless I presume these might be like optional extras. It looks like it was quite versatile actually. You can see there, miniature precision drill. Can't see a date on there, which is a shame, but it definitely looks 1970s to me anyway. Ah, that's how the right. We now see how the handle works. That's what I wanted to look at. So the handle comes around and it faces that way, and yeah, that does seem to actually work okay. Let's try putting the release that up. We'll try putting the actual PCB drill in it. Like that, and tighten that up. Then we'll have to just get this set to where we want it, about there I think. In fact, we'll have to put something in there so you can actually see it operating, because otherwise you won't know it's spinning, will you? So we put a tool in. I can't seem to get the chuck to open actually. Let's try taking it back out of there. I mean, it was sold as seen, so oh, it's a very, very tiny little chuck in there as well. That's for like a tiny, tiny drill bit. Hopefully there should be some different jaws you can swap out into this chuck. We take the jaws out. I think I saw some other sets of jaws in here. Ah, there we are. Yeah, they're slightly wider jaws. We'll slip them in. Put that back together. Now we should be able to use something like that in there. Now this could actually be quite handy for like buffing up contacts and buffing things up. I don't know. Just having a bit of a and there are some more different sets of jaws in there as well. So we do seem to have a full set of them. That's quite nice. Let's see if we can reset the. I'll have to release that again. I mean, it is all plasticky and what have you. It's not exactly metal, but it is nice to actually finally have a PCB drill with a stand. And there we go. That's the basic setup of it. You pull it down like that. Can you see that on the camera? See if I can just bring you down a bit. So I've not got my proper tripod either. I'm on this really really basic tripod, unfortunately. But yeah, that seems to work. We'll connect it up to the transformer, because I'm also interested to see how well the transformer works. What have we got? It gives out 10 volts DC at 0.4 amps, 4 watts maximum. So I presume it's the matchless power supply. I presume it is the power supply that's intended for this. It's certainly, I think it looks like the one that's on the leaflet. No, it's not. It's similar, but it isn't exactly the same as the one that's on here. Let's and that says it's 12 volts DC, so this is obviously a whatever transformer someone got hold of. I wonder if it's like a model railway transformer or something. I'm not sure. 10 volts DC, but it's obviously been used with this. Let's see how well it works. I'd have to change the connections on the end of my PCB drill as well. I want to use it with that transformer. Perhaps it's not quite powerful enough, that transformer, to actually run my PCB drill. Because although it's about the same diameter, I think it probably will fit this stand. It is quite a bit more beefy than that. Let's we'll plug it in and see if it works anyway. The wire's not very long on it, but hopefully it might just be long enough to plug in. We'll try. It's plugged in. Let's have a go. No, nothing, it's dead. Oh! No, there we go, it started. It's got an iffy switch on there. Or an iffy contact in there. The switch seems alright. In fact, the whole thing seems alright now. That was a bit odd. Yeah. There's a bit of play in them bearings, but let's try it with without that copper brush in there. If I can get it out without having to dismantle the whole thing again. Now, they usually have some kind of locking mechanism that you can lock the chuck with, and this just seems to have like a worm screw through it, so I don't know whether that's broken originally. Ah, there, I've got it free. I don't know whether that's broken originally or what. Let's try it again. It seems to spin true enough. There's not a lot of play in it, it's just the motor sounds horrible. But it's got its stand, which is what I was, like I said, that's what I was more interested in than anything else. Just make sure that's set. Yeah, it's good enough. It's good enough. So that's really all there is to it. It's not something I'm going to be using every day. It's just them odd occasions when I spin my own board. It's going to be a damn sight easier to drill all the holes, especially if it's something that involves an IC. I was doing just random holes for like transistors or resistors where the leg spacing isn't that critical. It's absolutely fine just doing it. Let's get that out so I can put this thing away. It's absolutely fine just doing it by hand like that, but when you've got, say, you know, 2 rows of 16 that you've got to get in exactly the right place for your IC socket to go in there, having this actual stand where you can place it and you can be absolutely sure you're going to drill in the right place every time and pop, 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 it makes life a lot easier. And like I said, if it was a lot more money, I've been looking at one for a while. Like I said, every time you see these stands turn up, it seems to be around the £30 mark. I just could not justify £30 for something I'm going to use literally every now and again. However, I can justify £15. You know, £15 isn't exactly so bad. Let's try and get this thing back in the case. think that's right. The whole point is trying to figure out how, because obviously this has all been cut to fit all this stuff in. Does that go in like that? I'm sure I've not got this back in the way that it actually came out of the box, but providing everything fits in there, I'm reasonably happy. I'll probably keep it in this box because I've not got anything better to put it all in at the moment. Ah, there we go. It's even got the original. You can see that. Precision Petite Limited, UK distributors. Made in France, oh right. 9 volts to 14 volts DC, so that 10 volt supply should be absolutely fine for it. So there we go. I was actually expecting it to be something, you know, made in, well, it wouldn't be made in China back then, but you know, made somewhere where cheaply made products were, but no, made in France. So yeah, that's my new PCB drill. Well, my vintage new PCB drill. Anyway, and I've left a bit out. Pity one of them clasps was broken off, but that's not the end of the world. Put that in there so I don't lose anything. I'm sure that is going to come in really, really handy. Because I do want to make a few PCBs for a couple of projects I've got in mind. They will involve me. I don't want to just do them on matrix board. I was actually thinking about etching a couple of my own PCBs. So and they do involve, I think each it's basically a VGA, well, a video switcher that I was planning on making for some of my vintage computers, because I'm never happy with the switches you buy. They never quite do exactly what I want them to do, so I was considering making my own. I've looked into it using various switching ICs, and I've come up with something which I think should work, but it involves using like 4 like 16-pin packages. And I think the way I worked it out, I think I could switch like 4 composite signals with it. So it's like I said, it's something I've got in mind for in the future, and this will certainly would come in handy for drilling the PCB if I do decide to go that way. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now. Like I said, there will be some more videos coming up reasonably soon. Now I've got this screen up here, I may dig one of the vintage computers out that I've not had up and running for a while, and we can do a video playing with one of them. I don't know whether it's going to be the Atom. I know a few people have shown some interest in my Acorn Atom up there, and I would like to actually show it loading some software, which would be quite a nice thing to do with it. It probably won't be the next video, but it may be one reasonably soon. Like I said, I'm really struggling at the moment with the simple fact that most of my workshop is all buried. I can't get to anything at the moment, and I am waiting on a few things that I've bought on eBay actually. A couple of old laptops and a Tatung Einstein mainboard, because I do have a Tatung Einstein squirreled away, which has got I think it's got a video fault on it. It's got a fault which I've been off and on trying to fix for a long time, and I managed to pick up a full Tatung. Well, it spares a repair. It's not known whether it's working, but a full Tatung Einstein main PCB for cheap. So hopefully with that and with my Tatung Einstein I can actually get a working unit finally, and that'll give us something else we can have a play with, because I have got some carrier bag with a load of Tatung Einstein 3-inch discs in it, which I found the other day actually. So we may be sticking them in the Einstein, see if we can get some of them to load. Of course, we'll have the fun with the disk drive, because it uses, I think, a very similar disk drive to the Amstrads and the Sinclair Spectrums. I'm pretty sure it uses the same kind of rubber drive belt which always disintegrates, which I think I do actually have some in stock, but they will be in the workshop unfortunately, which means getting to them will be for some fun. Anyway, I'm rambling now, so I'm going to leave it there for now. I say I hope you enjoyed that little look at this new tool. So thanks for watching and goodbye.